Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody? How is everybody? Good to be back. How's your trading been today? It's been all right. It's been all right. We'll go over it today, but I've had it all today. I've had a break even, I've had a loss, and I've had a win. I'm up about 1 hour today. So actually just over 1 hour, I think. No, not a different location. Just changed my camera around. Just changed my camera around. It was on this side over here, so you would have been seeing me from the opposite way. Now I just got my camera over on the other side. Just to kind of fit. Because I got a new camera, so I got a camera, not a new camera. I had a shitty fucking Logitech HD webcam before, and it wasn't cutting it. Wasn't cutting it. Let me see. Can I zoom in on this? How does that look? This looks better zoomed out. Yeah. Any Hoosers? What's up, Bradley? What's up, Mikey? You seen this crazy ass drop? Yeah, and I haven't taken fuck all of it because I didn't like it. I mean, I was done for the day prior. Um, but yeah, there's not much for me to really write home about for this price action right now, to be quite honest with you. This drop hasn't been something that I was incredibly proactive with. So, with that being said, my week has been actually low performing, to be honest with you. Monday was good. Tuesday, actually, Monday wasn't that great at all. Actually, I ended up caught a green trade, but I caught a couple losses too. So I think I overtraded a bit on Monday as well. Tuesday was kind of whatever. Didn't really. I think I was like half our loss total, and today we're up. So, but I can't complain. I mean, the past 3 months have been like incredibly clean. So I can deal with a little bit of slow PA. I'm not going to get all whiny about current PA not being my type of PA. Just have to sit through the storms. But it's looking like we're probably going to be going towards these lows, if I'm honest. They look pretty good. They look pretty good indeed, don't they? I think I'm seeing a lot of people wanting those lows too. We could also just get some SMT down there. How far are we on other assets? ES looks a little closer, but ES already swept. ES swept that, so that's a Tuesday. It's a daily consecutive candle. Not consecutive candle, but daily low SMT. Okay. YM is far away. Yeah. Tough one. Tough one, tough one. All we can do is mark out liquidity targets, and standard deviations. And I have my standard deviations up already. One of them being the 4-hour breaker. So that would be from this swing high to this swing low. You project that down. -2 kind of takes you right around in here. -4 is below. And also the weekly projection, which would be from the high of the week to the Sunday 1800 open. And you can see -4 is nested with the -2 of the 4-hour breaker. So we got that to go with. PA is asked this week, yeah. But like I said, 1 week of less than ideal PA after 3 months of super clean price action, like super, super clean, is completely fine with me. If anything, I'm just excited for us to frame more buys up to the highs here. Now we have some relative equal highs on all-time highs. So the further we get away from it, the more fun we can have on the way back up. But it's looking like this monthly low can be a potential, especially considering if we do close the monthly candle like this as a swing, that could change things, right? And we have SMT at the high with YM. So that could take us down to this monthly. This will be a monthly fair value gap. We also have this monthly fair value gap down here too. So it can kind of be just a clean quarterly shift. You kind of just get a dig down, and then you get a nice buy model all the way up, and we can buy into like November, and then we can stall out for the rest of the year. That would be ideal. But let's look at what we got going on for the current session, right? So 4 hour, we've got SMT with ES at this relevant swing here from 10 a.m. yesterday. Okay, it's not a session-based liquidity, but it is SMT nonetheless. I believe it's also going to be a 6 hour fair value gap if you care about the 6 hour. Not like me. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I don't really use it. I don't need it. But I know some people profile off of it, and that's completely fair. Okay. You also have SMT at the previous daily high. I'm going to sneeze 1 second. Wait. Okay, that's it. Excuse me. So we've got SMT with ES at this relevant swing from 10 a.m. yesterday. We've also got previous daily high SMT with YM because YM is the redheaded stepchild of the 3 indices, and it tends to kind of do whatever the hell it wants. So 4 hour candle closed bearish off a swing after sweeping out this Asia high, which is right yonder. Sweep, 15-minute bearish breaker, hourly bearish breaker, changes state of delivery. Looking for this 4 hour to retrace and potentially expand lower into the previous 4 hour lows, get into this for value gap. Those would be your short-term targets. We just missed that for value gap. So we'll be looking for kind of something like this. Yeah. Bless you. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, sir. From there, I'd be kind of looking at this area. That area being the -2 standard deviations of the 4 hour breaker and the -4 standard deviations of the weekly projections. Okay. Everyone's following. Now, where can this kind of occur from? Well, lots of places. We could frame it inside of any of these for value gaps here. We could go back and tap the low of AM session, which would honestly be preferable for me. Maybe create some SMT inside of this here for value gap. Trade up there, lower time, drop to the low time frame like the 1 minute, and then we'll look for this specific signature here. Take a short right here, stop loss at that high, and sell off down into the PM low. And then that'll be the play. Either that happens or we stall out for the rest of the day because we have 540 points. Yesterday was a massive range day, right? Yesterday was a total of 1,100 points. So you never know. We'll see. PM sessions are not my most actively traded session. In fact, I've been trading the Asia session a lot more often than I've been trading the PM. Because when the PM is ass, Asia session is gas. And that's usually been how it's been going. That's how it's been going, unfortunately. Because I do like to just not trade during Asia, but hey, model C, model take. How's your guys' week been, though? You guys been having a good week, bad week, so-so week? What do we want to, what are we feeling? What do you guys need to talk about? Anything I can help you with? Anything at all. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Hi, Chris. Doing well, brother. How are you? Tough trading this week about BE. I mean, hey, BE is a good spot to be. Rough this week. Over trading right now, and it's killing my P&L. Okay, well, here's something that you may not want to hear, Mikey. Maybe take the rest of the week off. You know, if you're not in a frame of mind to adhere to your plan, that's okay, buddy. You don't have to force it. You find a lot of your solace and your clarity off the charts. You're not going to find it by over trading and trying to make back what's already lost. That's not how it works, right? And I was talking about this with actually some buddies of mine just the other day because I've been going through this too. I've had a phenomenal past like 7-8 weeks where just constantly profitable weeks every week. And the profitable weeks were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I hit like a max, like an absolute huge profit week, about like 10R on the week. And I was ecstatic, right? Who wouldn't be? You have a massive week. And then things started to kind of change over, right? And I've actually been having, I think last week was a red week for me. Let me go check out TradeSync. Oh, where is it? Go to TradeSync. I don't have the TradeSync link bookmarked. Yeah. So this is my right. You can see 2K, and then this week here was 5K. Massive week. This was last week, right? Not a good week. Didn't trade much, but like, so down 1.5R, whatever, right? It's weeks like this. Now this week I'm actually down 1.5R again, right? It's weeks like this that occur after consistent weeks like this that you have to just not freak out. Don't freak out just because things are starting to not go your way. You're not getting the price action that's as precise, as readable, as like deliverable based on your analysis, okay? Just because you're running into a little bit of a losing streak, it does not mean that you need to panic. The last thing you want to do is change what you're doing, right? Don't change what you're doing. Your job is to execute your edge, right? Execute your process. The edge's job, it's the edge's job to take care of that long-term equity curve, right? Your edge will take care of you far better in the long term than you as an individual will, right? And there's something to be said about that, right? You are essentially an extension of your edge, okay? You are not the sole proprietor of it, right? Your edge exists and you're just there to execute it. That's your job, right? That's how you have to see it, right? Because at the moment that you start to think otherwise, that's when you start to introduce ego into your trading. And the ego is not a good trader, right? So don't get all, hot and bothered. Don't get your knickers in a knot, whatever you want to say, when you start to see some losses, right? It's the last thing you want to do. Keep risk managed. If anything, focus even more on risk management. Risk less if you want, but unless you're like on a very long-term losing streak and you're really fucked up, I don't think you should cut risk that much. I think just keep it steady, play your buffer, use your bullets wisely, right? And just ride the wave. It's not going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be weeks, right? Past 6 weeks, I thought I was unstoppable. Unstoppable. I couldn't get it wrong. Now I'm getting it wrong. Actually, I'm batting pretty low percentage right now, but my risk is managed. I'm not letting anything get too out of hand, right? That should be your job. Manage risk. Manage risk, manage risk, manage risk. That'll be what separates you. The need to be right is a big issue for me. Yeah, it is. Of course it is, right? We're egotistical human beings. We're all wired the same. It's a survival instinct, right? If you continue, imagine, I've said this before. Imagine if like we're living in like prehistoric times, like, and we're in like a tribe and you're one of the lead hunters and you are consistently getting the reads wrong of where the herd might be, how your shots are, right? You're missing your shots, you're missing your guide, everything. Eventually, if you keep getting it wrong, you're probably going to get kicked out of the tribe or demoted or worse, right? And it's a survival instinct to like want to force yourself to get things right and to be right and to prove yourself to others. But like in this, on this canvas with fucking random candles that just print, like no one's out here judging you. No one's out here that can do anything worse to you than you would do to yourself, right? So don't think that you have to introduce ego and be scared of what people think of you. Because the truth of the matter is that 95% of the people that do what we're doing fucking suck at it, right? And if you do what 95% of people do, which is as soon as they start seeing red, they start to get a little antsy and they start to trade and deviate from their model, well, then you're just going to become part of the majority statistic, right? So you have to start thinking a little differently. Okay? Rant over. We're getting up into that AM session low now. I should pick up some evals actually. Pick up an eval. What's good? Lucid, Tradeify? Tradeify is good. I haven't traded with Lucid yet. Huh. Don't want straight to funded. The select plans are pretty solid. $3,000 trailing max drawdown, 40% consistency. Evo. Fuck, it sucks because the 50Ks are the best bang for your buck. You get the most amount of drawdown. Like, you get $2,000 drawdown for 107. You get, it's almost a 19 to 1 19 to 1 ratio that you get. And then for the 100K, it's 3,072. It's a 17. And then I think the 150K is even worse. 4,500 by 240. 18. Actually, the 150K and the 50K are pretty close, actually. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so there's the AM session low. 2 p.m. is kind of opened up immediately. Yeah, 25Ks are good, but like you're almost priced out of so many moves if you trade the NASDAQ. Even if you trade ES, I feel like you're priced out a lot. That's the only problem. I would just go with 50Ks, but lately, I would have been priced out of a lot of moves in the past 2 months if I had 50Ks. So I might just grab the 100Ks or 150Ks. Just trade those. Whole lot of waiting, gang. I think this whole thing gets ran back, to be honest. It's either going to print a really nice continuation setup here to target more lows, or it's just going to stall out and we're not going to get anything. Let's keep an eye on the previous hourly high. I'd like to see NQ or ES or both take that PM high and YM fail. Get that strength switch. And then drop us. Drop it lower. So there's that hourly, there's that current PM high right over here. So like swing up here, 5-minute breaker, have a 1-minute breaker nested in there too. Something like that. For a tooth. It's already 225, maybe 3 o'clock does it. At the moment, we have nothing that's really worth it, right? Even if we form this breaker from here, that's 113 points and we'd be trying to trade for 93. I'm good on that. I'd want to see a new breaker get prepped. Like that. If he wants to do this, then be my guest. I just won't ride it. What's up, Chronic? How's it going, man? Let's see, Lucid. Where? Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Lucid trading. How much are there? I feel like they got better. What's the best plan on Lucid? No consistency in funded. These are all things that I can just look on propfirm.compare, actually. Just do that. Pricing. Actually, let's do that. Prop firm compare. Ooh, Lucid has a 50% code. Tradeify, Lucid. Let's go with their select. I think flex, but don't quote me. Okay. Okay, so comparing the Tradeify 150K select versus the Lucid 150K flex, which I think are the competitive to competing firms or to competing account styles, account types. $240 for the Tradify, $210 for Lucid. Both have 90% profit split. Both have the same profit target, same drawdown, both no daily loss limit. Lucid, you can pass in 2 days, as opposed to on Tradify, it's 3 days. The funded drawdown you get is 4,500 versus 3,500. Okay, so I'm struggling to see how Tradify is even close to being better than this Lucid plan. You save 30 bucks and you get $1,000 more drawdown. Hello? Yeah, we're gonna go with Lucid. We're gonna go with Lucid. One-time payment? I think so. Like no activation fees? Is that what you mean? Oh, I gotcha. Ooh, no monthly bill either. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Tradify's the same, but I'm not sure. All I have is the 150K Lightning funded with Tradify that I've been rocking. That's all I got at the moment. I've been on a little bit of a different journey lately, not trying to stack accounts, just trying to build one account up, which, if I think about it, I've built up a 150K account with 6K drawdown. It was 6K or 5K. Built it up like 10K in like 2 months. So definitely learned a lot about building an account slowly instead of constantly trying to work for payouts. Yeah, 5250. So basically turned 5250 into 15 grand in a couple months. I'm trying to warm up, trying to transition over into not just prop, but also treat my prop accounts a lot like a live account right now, to train myself for when it comes time to just go personal. Because right now it doesn't make much sense for me to go personal right now. If I'm making money from props, like once I'm consistently like mid to high 5 figures a month, I think is when I'll make the switch over. Right now it is not there, but close. Close. But anyway, personal account is the goal. So I've just been training myself to kind of have that environment instead of treating it like a game. Okay. What's your advice on scaling your capital via prop firms and making money through your funded accounts? What's your strat around it? My approach is pretty simple. Pay for one account, get a payout from that account, take that payout, pay yourself a little bit to make it real, and use the remainder to buy more accounts. Link those accounts to a trade copier like Tradecopia. Continue to scale that way. And then just stack and just focus on the process. Scaling is very, very simple. It's just there doesn't need to be some simple approach, but I don't think there's any reason why, unless you already know you're profitable and you can make money. Um, I don't think there's a big reason to like put all your eggs and like buy 5 accounts off rip, right? Just start with one. If you're new to it, like if you're still kind of back and forth, just start with one, get a payout from that, and then buy 4 more or buy 1 or 2 more, right? That's my strategy. Like I've basically just taken like my recent payout from Tradeify, taken some of that and just gonna buy more evals, and then take payouts from that, buy more evals again, till eventually you've scaled up to like however many accounts you want to trade. Whether it's if you want to include Apex, then you can trade up to like fucking 40 accounts, if not more, right? But I think the goal for me would be like get to like 10 copied accounts or 10 funded accounts, and then just milk payouts and start funneling into a personal, and then start scaling that too. Doesn't need to be too complicated. That's all I do. Okay, we are rejecting off of okay, so we've got still not quite tagging into that for value yet, but we got consecutive candle SMT. CFD or futures? I would go with futures. Depending on where you live, Mike, if you're in the States, then you're kind of highly restricted on CFDs, because a lot of them are banned, if not all. CFD firms are banned. So I would just go with futures. Personally, I like futures firms the best. Unless you trade Forex or you want crypto exposure, futures is just fine. I think the futures market is the best market, to be honest. It's most stable. Okay. Trading up into this AM session low. I don't like this at all. I'm going to sit back on that. There's no breaker here whatsoever. If it closes below this low here, you do have a breaker there. But like I said, the R to R, if this is our initial target, the R to R just is not there, right? 0.82. That's not what we're after. On shorts, but 5-minute bullish for value gap, making me wary to enter in anything good. Yeah, I would say waiting is probably your best bet. Maybe we get something else here. Maybe 3 o'clock gives us something, or we stall out and we don't get anything, right? That's a very real possibility as well. Just a matter of sitting and waiting. No longs are present. No shorts are present. So we sit and we chit chat. That's what we do. That is what we do. Ooh, we can go over my trade today. Yeah. You guys fuck with that idea? Sure, you guys fuck with that idea. I don't think there's anything going on here. All right. Let us go over my trades today. Okay. Initial trade idea. Let's go back. Start new. go right here. And we'll go quick. Okay, so initial idea is obviously large expansion day yesterday, consolidation overnight session. We created some SMT with this Asia session high. We had no bullish breaker or anything prepped off the lows. This Asia low SMT with YM was incredibly old. We had it for a while. I believe we had it basically like during the London session or near kind of the end of the London session. Oh yeah, you had it at 4 a.m. What's the earliest we had it? Okay, we've had it like, yeah, for a long time. The longer an SMT sits and nothing happens off of it, the less probable it is. Okay. We create this Asia high SMT. So you have Asia low SMT, Asia high SMT. You can consider that paired. Okay. From there, we get a bearish 15-minute breaker with a closure below this low. Okay. I entered short off of this 15-minute bearish breaker, stop loss at the current E15 high. And I was looking for us to get into, I was looking for us to get into -2 standard deviations of the digital opening price projections. So that being digi standard deviation. So basically from the high of the day to the open of the day, project that down. That gives you a good standard deviation target. Was also just looking for us to get to -2 of the 50-minute breaker that we traded on. Okay. So this was the trade. I think my entry was like right near midnight. Looking for something like that. PDL was kind of 1.3R at PDL. I wasn't exactly interested. I wanted to see us get a little lower. Okay. 9:30 rolls around. We get to PDL. We get previous daily low SMT. I drop to the low time frame. And once we create this 1-minute breaker here, I close my short basically at break even. I think I made like $30 profit. Entered long off this 1-minute breaker, thinking that we were going to form the low of the day and we were going to go towards this Asia high. Got stopped. Right there. And then what I did was I actually bought, we maintained this S&T, right? With the daily low, previous daily low. We tagged into this -2 standard deviations of the digital opening price. Yeah. Perfectly. I bought down here. Kind of like a turtle soup entry. My kind of rendition of it. Well, not mine. Borrowed it from a friend, we'll say. Stop loss at the -2.5 standard deviations. This is a new entry method that I'm trying. I've always been kind of chicken shit to do it, but this was a solid fit. Right? So bought that. 10 a.m. sweeping. Previous 4-hour and hourly low. The moment that we got a 1-minute bullish breaker, move my stop basically to break even because I was like, my entry was kind of in here. Move my stop to break even. Targeted Asia high. All of these relative equal highs here. All of those. And there. That was the long from today. Right? Nothing special. Just a different way of using standard deviations, using them for entries. It's kind of unconventional, but it actually works really fucking good if you pair it with the right liquidity and you have a good read on price. It's a little riskier and a little scarier, but worked out quite nice. Yeah, Soup. Yeah, you get it, Bradley. You know exactly about this shit. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's looking like they are gonna dunk it from here. Got that 1 minute breaker created. Thinking this is gonna just sell lower. Maybe the target is. Let's see where this -2 lines up. I'd be looking for this, to be honest. This area right here. Target. Kind of got janky at the end there, but you got it. Target. That would be where I'm looking if I were to be in this trade, but I'm not, because I wanted a little bit of a tighter breaker. Wanted us to kind of prep something a little bit nicer, but it looks like it could print, to be honest, down to these lows. Not a big PM guy, but we'll tape read it as such. So if I was going short, when we close below this 1 minute breaker, would have been short the exact next candle. Stop loss would go to the high. Then we'd be targeting down here. What price is that target at? So -4 is 29, 178.75. -4 of the weekly projections. -2 would do as well, which is at 29, 225.25. Couple reasons why I don't like it is obviously I feel like I would be reaching quite far for my TP, and I don't love doing that in the PM session because we could go and form an SMT, the current low of day, and then reverse from there because we get a nice breaker prepped. However, that's about it. Just one of those, not the type of trade that I want to potentially risk an already green day on. You know, continuations, I'm exceptionally picky. Yeah, exactly. One could argue that as well, Bradley. Exactly. I'm fully expecting that this is going to probably end up down here, but like I said, I'm exceptionally picky with my continuations. And this is kind of also due in part to me being a little extra picky because I've had a couple of, I'm red this week, I was red last week. So my selection is going to be a little more of a higher standard, I guess. So just a decision that I got to make. On any other day, not on any other day, but on another day, maybe I would be more keen on it. But today I'm not, and that's okay. This isn't one of those setups that like I look at and I'm like, oh my God, I fucking should have taken this. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for too, Bradley. I was looking for like a better breaker to get prepped. So, right, if you are short off of this, what you would look to do, guys, is just play the projections. There's no need to jam your stop anywhere, right? Because you'd be jamming your stop basically right in the middle of an efficient part of the range where we can exactly reprice to. But what you do want to see is you don't want to see us spend much time with this SMT that we're inevitably going to have at this previous hourly low. You want to see us melt through this low and delete that and give you every single reason to want to stay in the trade. Okay. Is anyone short? Very nice, looking good. You would be currently up about 1 hour right now. Like short, nice. Stick with it, bro. Stick with it. You want to see nice delivery right through here. Preferably just see these down candles continue to print. Don't want to see any sort of breakers potentially getting prepped here. You want to see it's just completely dump and delete that S&T that we already have at the previous hourly low. Target is going to be 225. That's like, that'd be your minimum target. -4. If you want to reach, it's an extra 45 points away, which I think you can do. Let's get Mikey a win here. Go, Mike. Go, Mike. What's up, Mario? How's it going, brother? Yeah, that is true. That is true, Bradley. Mikey, I forgot that you're fucking over trading. This is it's a good trade, Mikey. It's a good trade, make no mistake. But you do need to get it under control with the over trading. I forgot I just literally lectured you for 10 minutes. But you are making your own bed, right? And don't let me make you think that this is a bad trade. Right? It's just there's certain actions that you're taking that may not be consistent with disciplined trading, we'll say. But go get that profit, boy. Go get that TP, baby. My stops are at BE. I'm done regardless for the day after this. All right. Well, for the next hour, I will hold you to that. Can't believe I missed that. Yeah, it's okay, brother. Did you miss it? Like, were you on the chart and you just didn't see it? Or were you not at the chart? Two very different scenarios. Excuse me. Oh, wait. I'm tripping. I had the wrong -4. Okay, hang on. on here? I have too many fucking standard deviations on my chart. Okay. There. I think that's Digi. 769 and a half. 770. Had the wrong standard deviation up. 219. So they're kind of nested one together. So like between 220 and 225. You can probably just go 225. We've still got that previous hourly low SMT. This previous hour is closing bearish. Yeah, I know. I have that. It's just I have like weekly. I have the daily. It's just there's so much. It's hard to see it. Right? I should probably put it at the actual projections itself. I just had an old standard deviation. No, you're good. You're good. You're right. I had an old standard deviation projected, right? I thought I deleted this one, but I didn't. Because actually I drew it from when I did my breakdown. Yeah. Okay, so this is daily open projection. This is 1 minute breaker projection. And then the -4, the weekly, is all the way down hither with the -2 as well. So 5 minutes until this candle close on the hourly. This retracement looks fine. I wouldn't be concerned with this. If anything, maybe get some previous hourly high SMT with YM, tag back into this range, and then get a continuation off of that. Yeah, I would say like if this wants to create a whole new breaker, then this low is going to get taken anyway. I wouldn't say. And yeah, even if it does create this massive 1 minute breaker here, then like you can just get out of BE if you want. So pretty risk free. Three o'clock will give you some more info. Right, so we're not really seeing what we wanted to see in terms of high confidence continuation or high confidence that we're going to continue lower here. But setting this breaker here is just fine. It's just a healthy retracement. Maybe we go and we form some SMT at 3 o'clock, or this is just rebalancing this range, tapping the consolidation that we formed during the early parts of the PM session between 1:30 and 2. We just continue to form lower off of that. This is just balancing out that price range. There you go. Looks nice. Don't sweat, Mike. Don't. What's your plan, right? Actually, I'll tell you what your plan is, okay? Your plan is you should not be break even on your trade right now. This is not an invalidation point. You want to put your stops at invalidation levels, right? As the start. What you do, the very thing that got you into the trade is the very thing that can get you out of your trade, okay? Right? So that is going to be utilizing some sort of SMT and a 1 minute breaker, right? At the very least, we sweep out this low. We sweep out this low. And then you create your 1 minute breaker. And if that scares you out and you don't want to deal with that shit, then you close out in slight profit. No harm done. Right? Because what can happen here is price can swipe all the way up, tag your BE, and reject and drop lower. Let the candles tell you, let the bodies tell you that story, right? So there's no reason to sweat, right? It's okay to feel nervous and it's okay to feel a little bit emotional in your trade. I mean, I would too if I was in your position, right? With all the overtrading and whatnot. You are tired, brother. Your mental capital is at an all-time fucking low. And that's kind of why I told you just to take some time. But it don't matter right now. That's not important. What's important is you are in a trade and you're feeling emotional about it at the moment, okay? Number one thing that you should always do when you're feeling emotional about a trade is ask yourself what your plan is, right? Whatever that plan is, you stick to it regardless, right? Your plan will do right by you in the long term, right? Okay, there's 3 o'clock. Trading below that low. Everything's looking great. So now you still have this 1 hour SMT. Okay. Now you have two choices. Bradley just said it. You either close on this 1 minute breaker if it forms, or you just move your stop to break even and you take the BE. I would say give this trade room to breathe. Give it a chance. I would go break even here. You don't need to take a 39-point win. Go break even. If it wants to get up and stop you out, no harm done. That's what I would do, personally. And if you find it's a little bit too hot and heavy, go to break even right now, set your limits or set alerts, and walk away from the chart. No one's forcing you to look at it, right? You've done your job. Now it's up to the edge. You're chilling. You're chilling. Now that you've got your plan, that is your guide. Yeah, the 50-minute is prep nice. I will not be taking a single long until we get some sort of 50-minute breaker. Tell you that for free. Ooh, thank you. Just for shits though. Where does this 1 minute or 1 hour breaker take you? You seeing this, Bradley? But wait, is there more? Not really. -4 is that previous daily high. Smart thing to do is wait. Yeah. That fucking emoji. Study this. Study these standard deviations. They're not random. I don't need that one on there. I don't need that guy. Actually, I'm going to keep that guy on there. Yeah. Eyes here. Yeah. Give him one of these. Oh, wait, no. No. I'm looking to take it to the 50% of the fair value gap. Missed it by a couple of ticks. 50% of what fair value gap, bro? Of the hourly? Bro, just trade to the trade to the projections, I would say. Use the projections. Trust me. Trust me, bro. -2 of the 1 minute breaker. This -2 of this 1 minute breaker. Yeah. -4, I don't hate. It takes you to lunch high. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not interested in taking anything on the long side until we get some sort of high time frame potential for a reversal. I've been getting my shit pushed in all week trying to take longs, so I've just been taking low-hanging fruit for longs, and shorts just haven't been printing for me either. Oh, I see what you're saying. -2. That's what I meant. Yeah. We're saying the same thing. I thought you were talking about this one for longs. Yeah, -2 of these right here. This handsome gentleman right there. That, sir, should be your target. Now I follow. 225. 225. Yeah, I think base hits are probably going to be what you want. You gotta sit through the discomfort here. Don't cheap out and say, like, I want to get out of 50% of a fair value gap. Unless that's something that you already do. If you know deep down that that's not something that you do, then completely ignore that thought. You're gonna have thoughts. You're gonna have little demons in your head saying, "Nah, get out here, get out here, get out here." Just follow your plan. Follow your plan. Yeah, and you've got 15-minute SMT. And a new 1-minute breaker. Basically immediately rebalancing back up into the change in state of delivery. Yep. Yep. A little something like this. This was a fun one to break down. Despite not being in it, despite not taking it, delivered pretty clean. Looking good, looking good. I would not be sweating this whatsoever, Mike. Hope you're doing okay over there. You have zero reason to worry at the moment. You pussied out. What did you do? Mike, what'd you do? Well, no, what did you do? It depends on what you did. It depends on what you did, and if you got out at 50% of the fair value gap, fine. But If you closed in anticipation that this breaker was going to confirm, then yeah, you got some deep journaling to do. But I want to know what you did. No judgment here. I promise you. I promise there's no judgment. That was the plan when getting into the trade. Well, then why are you saying you pussied out? That's what I asked you. I said if getting out of 50% of a fair value gap is part of your plan, then stick to it. If it's not, then don't listen to that demon that's telling you that, right? So you didn't do anything wrong if that's what you did. Here's the thing, okay? That was your plan. You followed it. That's great. We were simply telling you something different based off of what we know works for us. However you take that is really up to you. Do I think that you need to target 50% of a fair value gap? Is that a good draw on liquidity? In my personal opinion, which really doesn't mean much to most, not really. It doesn't seem like a great thing. Liquidity and standard deviations are probably better targets. But if you were in your head this whole trade, Mike, then I think the elephant in the room is not how you managed your trade. It's kind of the position that you put yourself in over the past week here. And what I mean by that is when you overtrade a lot, you tend to get really bad at management. Everyone does, right? Overtrading leads to drained mental capital. And if you're trading with a low balance of mental capital, then you're just not going to be as strong-headed. You're going to be more susceptible to emotional decision making. And that's if there's anything to journal, it's that. Yeah, exactly. You're going to be more prone to playing your P. You're going to be more prone to trading your P&L, not the chart. So I think if anything, that's the only thing you should be journaling. If you followed everything else, you dealt with your emotions, you didn't get too crazy, then good on you, bro. Really, really. But don't let the overtrading thing become a habit. That's something that you should actively try to break. You feel me? All love and respect though to you, Mikey. I promise. I'm not trying to tear you down. Not trying to tear you down at all. I respect the hell out of you for being super transparent. Because there's most people in here. I'd argue majority of the people that do come in here and they take trades, whether it be their own or ones that I talk about, they don't talk openly about it. And that's kind of the sad thing. It's not their fault. It's just kind of the way the space is. A lot of people feel like they can't talk about their trades and their problems and their struggles with one another because of fear of judgment. So if there's anything that I can do to kind of help that, it's to allow people to have like the space to talk about it, you know, because like we've all been there. We've all been there, or we're all in that. We've all either been there or are currently in that spot, right? Or have yet to get there, and it's a very good learning moment. Hello, Mild 8174. I hear you now. It's good to be real rather than bullshit. Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's like there ain't nothing that you're experiencing that someone else in here hasn't experienced or will not experience. They're all very common things. Very, very common things. What a nice failure to create that 1 minute breaker. And then you see that, just dump. That's exactly what I mean. Trades all the way up, looks really good, fails to create it, and then goes. This is why, let me tell you a secret. This is why breaker blocks are better than order blocks in INVGs. Because of this shit right here. Shh, shh, shh. Don't tell anyone I told you. What's up, Cube? Mr. Cube, how you been, man? I miss you. I miss you. Day's been going good though, man. We're just vibing out the PM session. Nothing taken for me. We mapped this trade out and we talked about it. I personally chose to take it, but there's some people in here I imagine that took it. AM session was where I got my piece. But past couple weeks have been red, if I'm honest, after a really nice green streak. So we're kind of just easing back into things. I've been staying up late and sleeping in, so I end up chilling during Juno stream more. Yeah, man, London sessions have been fucking free, haven't they? Juno streams are probably super chill. I want to listen to this music here. Actually, that's what I want to do. I want to see how the music sounds. Let me just do this. Oh, he's turning it up for me too. I like it. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I like it. I like the music. Do you guys like the music? I feel like the addition of the music really helps with the quiet moments. So you can just kind of vibe out. Just joined y'all on Discord. Which Discord? Prop from Compare? Because our lab Discord, we don't have anybody else. We don't let anybody else in. Yeah, which one did you join? Oh, Prop Compare. Okay, good, good. I'm making sure you didn't get scammed. Because I would not be surprised if some fucking scammer is accepting, has created a Discord mimicking the lab. You're an educator in the lab crypto side. Wait. I don't recognize your YouTube name. Is it different from your Discord? Thank you, Alex. Hello. Milo Trades, there you are. Let's go. Sorry, man. I didn't pop over into crypto too much. Oh yeah, crypto traders. Yeah, because there was Moritz. There was Detta. You, who else? Crypto bros popping into this because the PA is so crap. Dude, I feel bad for you, crypto fellas. I feel so bad for you, crypto boys. Moritz, Detta, Lala, Miss. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really I thought I thought when we brought crypto in that it would be far more like interactive between the future side and the crypto side, but it really kind of just we stayed separate. I would have liked to get to know you guys a little better. Not that I'm a crypto trader by any stretch, but it's always nice to meet people and network and connect with one another. But yeah, good to have you in Prop Firm Compare, dude. Tune into the streams. Nah, crypto's not going on for the lab either. I think we're pretty much well shut down on both ends. I think they shut down just after us. There's still people chatting in there, I think. Oh, yeah. Hey, hey, how was your trading day? It's a very nice rhyme. It was good. Good day today. Why don't I trade? I do. I do. I'm confused. Here's my short. Here's my long. Here's my other long. So I'm confused. I broke down. I took 3 trades this morning. Sorry, I don't want to take a 4th. Sorry, boss. I'm tired, boss. Not really impressive. But yeah, I could have shown you guys the executions. So yeah, there was the short. Here, let me get the labels up. Execution labels. Okay, short 735. And then closed 1. That was the closing the short at 715. Then went long 2 at 718. Then my stop loss. And then my long. And then got out up here. 891, 572. Nah, it's okay. I mean, I get it. I get it. I don't trade the PM session much. I'm fucking guilty of that. But I do want to trade the PM session a little more for you guys because I understand it's obviously like you want to see me trade in here. But I'm not going to, if I've taken 3 trades already on the day and I'm up, I just can't justify taking another one, you know? Because that just gets into overtrading territory for me. But that's not to say I haven't taken trades in the PM session before. But I'm thinking evals, I'll maybe do some scalping. So no offense taken whatsoever on that. Just wanted to be transparent as to why I didn't take any trades today in the afternoon. Yeah, the long was fucking sick. The long was nice. When I back tested, a lot of the setups really only came like around 3:30 for me. And at that point, it's too close to the market on close and the close, so I don't trade PM. Yeah, dude, I feel you. Like my favorite PM trade is like honestly a lunch high to lunch low or vice versa. Or if like AM session doesn't, kind of like this PM here, but just I would have liked a little bit of a better breaker block with nicer projections at these lows. Kind of like where an AM session doesn't meet a draw and then you don't get any sort of, you just get a consolidation, you trade that market maker model lower. I like those. PM is for scalps. Like AM session is where you can catch your clean like daily expansion. PM session are for scalps. So like here's the AM. PM you like catch a continuation. So you just catch this piece of the pie or you catch a retracement of the daily. Like it's very scalping in nature just due to the time constraints of the day. So maybe just trade demo for PM and practice until you're comfortable with evals. And oh, dude, I'm not uncomfortable with the PM session at all. That's not it. It's just I typically don't scalp anymore. Like I'll trade higher time frame levels, and the AM session just suits me better for that. I'm fine to trade the PM. It's just I really don't like trading the 1 minute anymore. That's kind of the main thing. Yeah, it's not a discomfort thing. I've traded the PM lots. It's just kind of, you grow through different phases in your trading, and you kind of move away from low time frame, and I've moved to more high time frame. How did I learn to trade? Good question. I started basically how everyone else did. I started just searching stuff up, watching YouTube videos, getting that whole dopamine hit, brain rot bullshit, looking at fucking Lambo Raul, how he made 100K from FTMO, all that stuff. And then I just kind of got into learning about retail trading concepts and just like fundamentals, right? Your foundations. What is a market? What is a stop loss? What is an entry? What are your order types? What is liquidity? What are the different asset classes, instruments, all that stuff? Risk management. Just like your basic stuff, right? And then for technicals, I kind of realized that retail concepts aren't really for me. Like I'll be fucking damned if a cup and handle is what the market moves off of. So I kind of moved towards something a little bit more definitive and objective rather than subjective. Something that is more like a language rather than a pattern. So ICT, I was drawn towards ICT. After like a brief time in like that whole SMC, smart money concepts, change of character, breaker structure, all that bullshit, I just went to ICT and learned from there. And then 4.5 years later, here we are. So I've been through core content, majority of core content, not all of it. 2022 is where I started. I've watched hundreds of hours of ICT. I'd say it's 2023 mentorship, and then I kind of stopped after that. Don't really, and now I don't really need it anymore. Now I just kind of got my own way of looking at things. And yeah, lots of time, lots of sleepless nights or lack of sleep where you're just constantly questioning yourself. I do not use order flow, Milo. I do not. I think it's cool though. I wonder if there'd be a way I could use it in my trading. I just have to look into it. I think it's a whole learning curve that like I just am not really willing to get into at the moment. Cube went from order flow to ICT. Yeah. It's kind of, that's what I've heard. It's not an uncommon thing. What time frame are you using for trading now? Primarily the 15-minute. Primarily the 15-minute. Sometimes I'll dabble on the 1, but I really try not to. Like if I don't need to, like if I have a super clean 15-minute entry and I don't need to wait for the 1 minute or play a 1 minute, I'll just take the 15. Just so much more low stress. I mean, it's pretty good with indices, but I'm just going to do the basics to trade this right now. Yeah, man, like honestly, do you know Obviously, you understand liquidity, right? I would look into divergences. So like SMT, if you're familiar with that. Standard deviations, breaker blocks, if you're familiar with those at all. These 4 things are like the foundation of my kind of narrative building. And then like mixed with obvious like how you frame a daily candle and like how to using daily swings and stuff. Like obviously after yesterday, today was set to expand lower, right? Type thing. Standard, yeah, breaker block is basically order blocks. Yeah, it's essentially a failed order block, if you think about it that way. Don't know about standard deviations. Standard deviations are very simple. You essentially, if you can find a breaker block, you can find a standard deviation to pull from. It's essentially a measurement. It's essentially a measurement of a breaker block, which is a manipulation. So if we take there's a 5-minute breaker from today, right? You find your breaker block. Well, you find your liquidity first, right? You find your liquidity. Okay. Right there, there's your sweep. SMT, you had it with this high here with YM or with the S. You also had it with previous daily high with YM. Liquidity, SMT. Find your breaker block, which is going to be in the form of a swing high, swing low, higher high, lower low. Swing high, swing low, higher high. Closure below that low is your confirmation of your breaker block. Your breaker block candle itself is going to be, the down close candle sandwiched in between that swing high and swing low. That's going to be your bearish breaker. Okay. Your standard deviation, you're essentially pulling from the swing high to the swing low, the manipulation lag. And then you get your standard deviation. 2 to 2.5 is kind of like your minimum kind of target. It's a very solid target. So you could see it was nested right on AM session low. Great target. -4 is typically max expansion. -4, -4.5. So I like -4. Look at where we ended off. Now we're going higher. Very, very simple. Pairing them with liquidity levels, with liquidity pools are going to be like, they just give your liquidity pools more confluence. If that makes sense. So yeah, if you want to add that, that's like indices work so well off of that, dude. They work so well off of that. Liquidity, SMT, breaker blocks, standard deviations of said breaker blocks for your targets. What actually is SMT? Can you tell me a bit more about it? If you don't mind, of course I don't mind. So I'll bring up a double pane chart. This one will be, yes, not live cattle futures. I was fucking around one day. Okay. ES and NQ. They are both index future instruments, meaning that when they move, they typically move in tandem with one another, right? NQ makes lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. ES will make lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay? SMT or you can call it smart money technique, smart money time, smart money tool, whatever. It's essentially a divergence between two correlated or inversely correlated assets. In this case, two correlated assets, okay? ES on the right and Q on the left. Let's mark out this high here. This high is the 10 o'clock high on the hourly chart on NQ. This high is the 10 o'clock high on the hourly chart on ES. If I drag a trend line across, what do you see? You see that ES swept out that high and Q failed to. That right there is SMT. That's your crack in correlation. Because if they were correlated, they both would have taken this high. So that crack in correlation is essentially a telltale sign for us as retail that there is a stop hunt going on at around this level, and we are essentially going to see a continuation off of that. It is a bearish signature when you see this. When you see one fail to take a high, one take out the high. Okay? It's essentially telling you that like smart money is operating at that level. They drove price higher on ES to take stops, engage more orders, and then trade lower. And Q did not. Correlation. Off of that, once you see that SMT, NQ still swept out some liquidity, which is ideal, of course. Then you drop down to a low time frame, 5 minute, 3 minute, whatever you want. Wait for that breaker block confirmation. Trade those standard deviations. And boom, you have a model. Hope that makes sense. It's essentially just that crack and correlation. Not just during the opening, it can be at any time with any old highs. I would recommend utilizing SMTs with nothing. When you're starting out, use them on like session highs and lows. So like London high, Asia high, London high, New York AM high, New York PM high, and lunch. Those 5 sessions. Utilize those. You can also use hourly highs and lows too, but just know that the lower the time frame the SMT, the less importance it holds, right? Same with like an hourly chart is more important than a 5-minute chart, right? Or an hourly chart is less important than a 4-hour chart, right? So I would say use high time frame SMTs. I don't drop below anything below a 15. 15 is like my bare minimum. So hope that helps. My canvas looks weird, different on this side. This one is F7, F4, F0. F7, F4, F0. Okay, it just looks weird, I guess. And for a bullish SMT, it would just be inverted on the other side, right? Yeah, exactly. So highs and lows, right? So for bearish, it's highs. For bullish, it's lows. You see one take the low, one failed to take the low. What do we see from the AM session, from my trade, right? Previous daily low. Previous daily low. And Q sweeps out that previous daily low. ES fails to sweep out that previous daily low. That right there is your crack and correlation with the daily low. I know the time is different, but nonetheless, still the previous daily low. And then from there, low time frame, entry signature on there. You could use a 1 minute. Obviously, I entered using standard deviations, but yeah, you get the point. That's part of the reason why my long was triggered, because we had that SMT present. If I don't have SMT present, then I don't have a trade. So we have a 5-minute breaker confirmed. We've got Micron earnings. I would like the 15. Hourly swing, 5-minute breaker. Projections of that 5-minute breaker. Going to take you up above the current AM high, which are you pairing with that? Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. Oh, I missed it. See you later, Mikey. Yeah, you're welcome, Malo. Hope it helps. They might rip this higher off of Micron earnings. Hourly swing. What are we missing from this, though? The daily low SMT with YM. We have an hourly breaker prepped. We have a 15-minute breaker prepped. That looks really nice. 5-minute is there off the hourly. How big is it? 137 points. What time do the Micron earnings come out? After market, so probably like 4:20 is the earnings call. Let me check whispers. Wednesday, Micron after the close, yeah. Ooh. It's a toffee. It's a toffee, boys. What do you guys think? Up or down, Micron earnings? Up or down, up or down? Let's make a poll. Actually, there's only like 20-some people in here. Might not get much action on that poll. Let me know in the comments, though. Uppies or downies? I think uppies. Methinks uppies. Yeah. Just failing to meet those projections. First up, tomorrow could still be down. Yeah. Yeah, to the right for sure. Definitely to the right. Maybe they go down and then in the overnight session, they sweep it up to close out the week. Maybe we close up the week going higher. I don't know. feel like the Iran news is kind of silent at the moment, isn't it? Or am I just missing stuff? I feel like that's why we're dropping so much, just because like there's no news to keep it propped. Nothing on the Kobeissi letter, I don't think. Nothing all day today about Iran, just talking about Bitcoin and silver and everything dropping. Okay, 8 hours ago, Trump says Iran has informed the US that there are no tolls, insurance costs, or other charges being sought or received by Iran on ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz. Trump also says he will be releasing Iranian funds to US farmers and ranchers. Food is desperately needed in Iran, and we will be purchasing it for them exclusively from the United States. Huh. Yeah, they're probably tired with all the news. You're not joking. Yeah. Pretty quiet, though. Reckon she's gonna cook. Yeah, the metal sell-off. Yeah, gold below 4K. Oh baby. Dude, that's actually sick. This gap is kind of like last ditch. It's a healthy retracement. A 30% retracement off the highs. What's silver? Silver futures. That doesn't look right. SI. There we go. Oh. 50% off its highs. Fuck. Dude. That is crazy. Do we go again? Man. Yeah, this is gonna fucking rip. GG's. GG's. Trade into this inverse at 4 o'clock. And then to the heavens. Look at all that fucking liquidity that we can go take. I use the ICT kill zones and pivots indicator by TFO. This guy right here. ICT kill zones plus pivots. What's up, HM? We're just about to call her a day. Thinking Micron earnings are gonna fucking send us higher, in my opinion. She looks really good. Looks real good. How's my day? Not bad, man. Most of my trades, well, all my trades were in the morning. One break even, one loss, and one win. For just over 1 hour on the day. Just over 1 hour. I think we are up. Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. 665 on the day. So 1.3 R on the day. Currently. I may, if we can get back down into this IFEG on the 50-minute, this will obviously be after stream. Because I got to go right at 4. But I might set a limit on this IFEG for the Micron earnings. I wanted to see this 50-minute, at least get an IFEG going. Yeah, pretty much the same on all trades. Unless like there's a specific trade. Like this morning on this short that I took, on a short that I took this morning, like I was not exactly confident in like all these highs. So I did go half risk, which is incredibly rare. So like I would see 90%, 95% of the time I'm risking the same. Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Like, I don't like changing my risk up just because, yeah, you fuck with your equity curve. Like, what if you like all the, like, out of a series of like 20 trades, like all the trades that, any trade that you risk down on was a win, right? That's so much profit you're leaving on the table. Like, you're probably cutting your profit in half off of that over a series of like 50 plus trades. Like, that's a lot. Even 20 trades, that's a lot. It's a big difference. So I try to stay static with my risk. Massive fucking stop too. This shit is gonna cook. But I think we're gonna call it a day here, gang. Been fun. Looking to see if I can grab some sort of size into this one. Look for Micron earnings to expand higher. This seems like it's kind of setting up really nicely. Just don't want to buy it all the way up here, obviously. So we'll see though. If we get back down here, I will probably be in. But we need to see a closure on this candle first, which is closing right now. So yeah, and then Micron earnings I think come out like 4:15-ish. Is usually when the call's at, but yeah. You guys have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with me today. I'll be streaming the PM session tomorrow. Don't think I'll be very active in the AM session. I'm going for an early round of golf, so I'll come back and we'll try to crush the PM session. I picked up a Lucid eval, so we're gonna rip that tomorrow, I think. So we'll be doing some PM trading if we can catch something, right? So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.